This show may be the Daily Dak Defender, Dak Chronicles. Y'all help me out with the name that we should name this Dak Prescott talk, because it's going on and on and on and on and on and on. Recently, the mighty Troy Aikman, the guy that wore number 8, and I promise you there would never be a Dallas Cowboy player to wear number 12 or number 8. Those are iconic numbers, right? Now, number 8, he spoke glowingly of Dak Prescott, just like number 12 did in the recent past as well. I lean more towards what number 8 have to say, Troy Aikman. We do know that he calls the game, and he's really not a biased guy, because when you listen to the games that him and Joe Buck call, it's more so Joe Buck being on the Cowboys side, and then you hear Troy give his analysis, and you be like, man, come on, bruh. Did you play for the Cowboys? And I love it. I love the fact that he's straightforward and he's honest. And he came out today with recently, and gave a great big endorsement for Dak Prescott. And also, with that being said, he talked on these type of angles. He said that Jerry will pay Dak Prescott. Remember what I've been saying all along, that contract negotiation in the public is always messy. It's dirty. And I'm not trying to be a Dak apologist, but Dak did for the last 4 years, 40 and 24. A lot of people say, well, Law, why you talk about the stats? Why you talk about the stats? The stats do not mean anything. Only wins means everything. And then they go back and forth with it. Hey, he was 8-8 last year. Let me repeat, he was 8-8 last year. And then when I started to break down the game, they say, oh, that Saints game, that Jason Witten fumble, Dak had nothing to do with that. Oh, that Ezekiel Elliott fumble. Oh, Dak didn't have nothing to do with that. Oh, that crazy PI call on Amari Cooper, not one time, but twine. Oh, Dak Prescott didn't have nothing to do with that. So we'll take back a loss, okay? So now it's 8-7, right? So then I start breaking down this other situation. The Minnesota Vikings game, all you seen was Dak Prescott throwing the ball, throwing the rock, throwing it here, throwing it there. Oh, they couldn't stop the passing attack. But old Coach Red, Coach Red, he wanted to run the rock. Right in the teeth of the strength of their particular defense. Oh, I take back another game, Law. Oh, so what that leaves you? Oh, 8-6. So if you flip it around to those wins, it's 10-6. Oh, Law. But no, he lost against the Patriots. Oh, did Dak Prescott? Oh, did Dak Prescott did this? Get his punt blocked? That's a story of a different day. Flip the field. Oh, did you guys recall the phantom tripping calls? Not one, but twine for your mind. Oh, did you guys recall big third down, key down? This guy, number 82, one of the greatest tight ends to ever put on silver and blue for the Dallas Cowboys, played basketball with the football. Oh, he dropped the ball. Did I say this to you guys? They tried to throw the ball in the monsoon, and they practiced all that week inside, indoors. And on top of that, Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott, he was averaging 5 point something. I think it was 5.1 or 2 yards per carry. Oh, so things does not seem as grim. Now, I will say this for those who always like to go back and use this one game as a measuring stick, which I do give you guys fair and reasonable explanations for this game. And I will say this, shout out to the Eagles. They won that game fair and square. But the first game, okay, the Cowboys did win that one, right? Y'all acting, most of the Cowboy fans, Eagles fans, no, it's most of our own fans. They acting like the Eagles swept us last year. And that the first game, that when we met upon each other, or when we faced each other, the opposition versus the Dallas Cowboys, that the first game didn't count. But shout out to them. They won the last one, which counted more. And shout out to them. They got a wonderful draft pick in the drafts, right? They got a chance and opportunity to go to the playoff. Man, it's a blessing in disguise for us because if we win that game, that is this right here. 3 times out of the last 4 years, Jason Garrett, Coach Redball, would have taken the Dallas Cowboys to the playoff. You think that Jerry Wayne and company would have been saying, hey, let's fire my son? No. They would have been regrouping. They would have said, you know what? It's the defense. It's not the offense, which somebody can paint that picture. And we would have kept Jason Garrett for another year. But shout out to the Eagles because they helped us out in many factors that we just don't know. Nevertheless, the Eagles, that particular game, if you go back and look at it, we had 5 drops by the wide receiver. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 5. They said, look, we got 5 on it. And yes, I will say this, Dak Prescott, he was way off on Tavion. I call him Tavion because that's what Jerry Jones called him. He was way off on Tavon Austin. Wide open. I mean, if he'd have caught that ball, he would have scored. They would have said, you know what? We give you 2 touchdowns for that 1 because that was a nice play. They would have gave him 12 points around this thing. Nevertheless, that's just me jokingly talking. And then there was another pass to, I believe, Michael Gallup or Cooper on the right side, whereas you had to have a ladder to catch. You know, it was 2 bad passes. Nevertheless, baby. Carson Wentz, he threw the ball right to Xavier Woods. It's just that his hands were made of concrete. I'm talking about right there for a pick 6. And who knows, that could have flipped the momentum of the game. But nevertheless, that's their GOAT. Carson Wentz is their GOAT. Passed so good that it went right to the hands of Xavier Woods. And he was like, nah, I can't hold on to this one. That was a fumble. Robert Quinn knocked it out of Carson Wentz's hand. Go to my Instagram page. I broke it down. You know, it was just there. You can see the video. You can see that Robert Quinn hit the ball right out of Carson Wentz's hand, which he normally gets a fumble a game. That's being real with you guys. Shout out to the Eagles, though. And they looked down, and it was like, hey, we're going to let that ball just sit there. And Carson was like, okay, I'll just pick it back up. Nevertheless, those drive killers that we didn't take a chance and opportunity on. Oh, Law, what else you got to say about that Eagles game? Well, you know, when you get to your own side of the field and you're in process of scoring, 9 times out of 10, you will give the ball to the bell cow. You will continue to feed the baby. The baby is hungry. The baby is crying. But the baby tapped out. Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott, he tapped out and said, hey, I got to give me a breather. The Dallas Cowboys, they refused to call timeout. They said, let's put the young phenom, Tony Pollard, in. And we're not going to run them right up the gut because it's 3rd and 1. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a pitch toss to the weak side. Who does that? To the weak side. That meaning that he's even more behind the LOS. I'm thinking that he's like anywhere from 5 to 6 yards behind the LOS. And the moment that kid get hit, he get popped, the ball come out. For those who know who played Tecmo Bowl, you never wanted to hear that sound when you're running the ball. But that's what happened, and the Eagles prevailed. The Eagles won that game. But if you want to have that game as a defining moment for, dare I say, a young Dakota Prescott, then you can keep it. You can say, yeah, that's the defining moment, and we should not pay our quarterback. We should just get on with him and move on with him. And remember, I'm always with the belief of this because, trust me, I knew the Dallas Cowboys before Dak Prescott was even conceived. You know, that's how much older I am over him. I knew the Dallas Cowboys before he was even thought of even thinking about putting the silver and blue on. So trust me. I love the Cowboys. It's not I love Dak Prescott and all. No, I love the Cowboys. So I'm with the belief if the Cowboys really wanted to get rid of Dak Prescott, don't let him sign the franchise tag. Put him on the trading blocks, sign and trade or what have you, or do not even entertain the fact or the notion to talk to him about his contract negotiations. You would have been moved on from him. That's the reality of it. And I don't want people who will sit there and say nobody will pay $35 million for Dak Prescott. when there was already the Indianapolis Colts came out and said, hey, I will give you 35 mil. I would give, if the Cowboys, this was before they got, I think they got Phillip Rivers, but this was right before that time frame. And they were saying, hey, I'll give you 35. Cowboys playing around with it. I know what a good quarterback looks like. I'll give you the 35, neither here nor there. All I can say is that Troy Aikman, when he come out, one of the greats, one of the Hall of Famers, the Ring of Honor, like I said, there would never be another person to wear number 8 or number 12 on this team. When he come out and say, well, because there's nobody I can think of got their eardrums closer to Jerry Wayne's mouth, then dare I say, hey, Troy Aikman, I will say this. When you think about it, collectively speaking, Troy Aikman is going to be right. So be prepared. All of the Dak Prescott haters out there, he's going to be with this team. Maybe it's 4. Maybe they come up with an agreement of 5. Hell, the first initial agreement was 6 to 7 years. That's a long time to be hating on one quarterback. Man, some small part of my heart wish that the Cowboys and Dak Prescott would have came up with the agreement of 6 to 7 years just to see some of the people shake. But neither here nor there. Dak Prescott will be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback heading into 2020. It's just that deadline makes deals and Jerry Wayne Jones is not a billionaire by mistake. That's the reality of it, regardless of how you receive it. I want to know your thoughts, though. I want to know how you guys feel of Troy Aikman's statement on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott collective years since 2016. If I said anything that was offline, was not fact, that does not make your beard grow or your teeth white, let me know. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below, baby. And we're going to get this thing going one way or another. I love the fact, I got to talk about this too. I love the fact that earlier today, I heard the situation with the Jamal Adams, the Dallas Cowboys. I forgot all about it, charged it to my head, not my heart. I forgot that the Cowboys offered the Jets a first-round draft pick. And the craziest thing of it all is that the Jets, if they were not stupid last year, they could have had a CeeDee Lamb. They could have had their primary number 1 wide receiver, which by accounts that they said this is what they're looking for. They're looking for a wide receiver. So they greedy. They wanted first and a third, or first and a Gallup, or first and whoever. But I like the fact that this team is where we are at now, and then eventually they probably look at everything, and who knows? Jamal Adams around week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of the regular season before this contract situation go through, or before, the trade deadline goes through, Jets might cave. They might say, okay, 2 tears in the bucket. Let us get this next year's first-round draft pick. It could happen. I'm just throwing that out there as a little objectivity. Remember what I said. I love Jamal Adams and all, but not for a first and a third, but not for a first and a Gallup. No. And a third, whatever it may be. And when you look at it and you think about it, what's this guy named that played for the Jacksonville Jaguars or Jaguars? He got traded to the Rams. Did they give up 2 first-round draft picks and a third or a fourth or something like that, or first and 3/4? Let me know. Help me out. I don't have this contract information above me or right beside me or to the left of me. Let me know. Let's continue to grind, Cowboy Nation. Let's continue to grind. Let me know, too, about that Jamal Adams versus the Jalen Ramsey. Both of them can play versatile situations. I do know that Jamal, he plays more around the box. And you definitely don't want him to play against those wide receivers out there in the edge. But in a pinch, he probably can. I'm not doubting the man or dogging the man. But if Eddie Jackson can get 15 mil. I think that Jamal can probably look at it and say, okay, I want 15 mil as well. That's the Eddie Jackson for the Chicago Bears, I believe. So it could be a situation like that. Nevertheless, the Dak Prescott, guys, get ready for it. The contract, he's going to get signed eventually. Yeah. Hit that like button, share this content. Let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and Beyond. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. I'm out. Peace.